Okay, welcome to the JDC West 2015 Management Information Systems case presentation. Thank you to our judges, Nick Holbeck-Sue from MCO, Brad Zimmer from Federated Co-ops Limited, Greg Hutch from ISM, Aftab Ahmed from Deloitte & Touche, Nancy Smale from Stonefield Systems Group. Competitors will have a maximum of 20 minutes to present. Immediately following the presentation, judges will have a total of 5 minutes to ask the presenters questions. The volunteer timekeeper will show time cards at various intervals to indicate the remaining time and will stop any speaker who exceeds the maximum time limit. No comments, cell phones, or picture taking will be permitted from the audience at any time. The audience will only be permitted to applaud following the question and answer period. The audience is banned from any material that bears the name or symbol of a competing university. We ask the audience to exit the room immediately following the question and answer period. Competitors, you may begin when you are ready.
Communication. What is communication and why is it important to every single business? Communication leads to less redundancies. It makes it so that two people are not doing the same thing as long as things are being communicated properly. And it makes it so that time is saved as a result of this. Communication. Communication is key. The company has, each employee uses 5 days a year looking through emails, chats, and all other different things that in order to find what they need. This is a lack of communication. They should not be receiving emails that don't have anything to do with what they're working on, and this is something that we are here to try to fix. We're JJS Consulting. My name's James.
I'm Steven. And I'm Jamal. A key issue we saw with the company was internal collaboration. Collaboration between employees at the companies when they are developing projects. The areas we saw this was?
Communication. So communication within your company, back and forth via email, text message, WhatsApp, BlackBerry, are all time consuming and not the best form of communication to gather between employees. We've also looked at data security. So the security of your data are currently being transferred back and forth via email is not as secure as it could potentially be, and it is an issue for your business.
With regards to collaboration in the company, we saw that development management was a key area of your company, and that the company was using easy projects. And they used that for a while, but they saw that that wasn't effective enough because employees weren't motivated enough to use that, or they weren't even forced to use that. It wasn't enforced upon them to use that software. And we're going to look on improving that.
Next, we'll talk about the strengths. Company growth. The company's been growing since their first project. They've gotten bigger and bigger. As a result of this, well-established and creating a very good scene in Vancouver. And last of all, these larger projects are building on the funding and the amount of money available to the company.
Next, we're going to look at the weaknesses within the company. So like my colleagues have been saying, communication has been a key area that the company has been failing at. And it's not as been effective as it could be, as the employees are actually talking with clients within text, and these texts are not actually backed up and not seen by everyone in the company. So it's more about the cohesiveness within the company and the clients. Response time is another thing that is key within the company. An employee gets a text and they are unable to respond to it quickly, maybe because they don't get the notification in time. And another area is that they're using really simple systems right now, like Excel and Word, to log and record all of the management issues of the current development. So by using Excel and Word, it's not as efficient as can be.
So we've searched some opportunities, and an opportunity that you have is to ease the workload. So what does this mean? Implementing a system that reduces time, effort, and really makes it easy for the employees to move back and forth with communication. Now, ease of collaboration efforts. We've seen with your previous system, you have had to-do lists, but employees weren't consistently following this. But we would like to search more collaboration opportunities. And finally, adaptability to change. So we need to look at if your employees are actually willing to try out a new system, how they're going to do it, what time that will take, and how they will handle the new change.
Next we'll be talking about the threats. The first threat is rivals. If the clients aren't going into your projects, they're going into rival projects, and this is something that can never happen. The last one is lack of progress reporting. The employees, there's no way to track what they're doing, how much they're doing, and if they're doing what someone else is doing, redundancy, like I had said at the start, and this is also a problem.
This is a stakeholder analysis we have done, and the stakeholders we did find were the employees, of course, within the company, because they're the ones that do most of the work within the company. And the Planning Commission, that's the government, because with the project that they were doing with Tivoni, there was a lot of communication back and forth from the company to the Planning Commission. And we try to get all of this communication in one place so it can be centralized. And finally, of course, the clients within the company.
So some keys to success. We have to look at implementing a new plan. Here we have security. So we need to implement a system that will ensure your information is secure and that data is transferred back and forth between employees, clients on a secure basis and can't be breached in any way. Next, collaboration. So we know that you need to work back and forth with each other in order to gauge how much effort is needed for certain projects, different departments, etc.
Next, we're going to look at response time. And response time is a key factor for this company because they are constantly working on projects and they need to have the information available to them within the people, the seniors of the company and the associates who are working on the projects. So response time is a key factor to getting work done. And of course, ease of use. If you have a simple centralized system that is easy to use, the employees will feel motivated to get more done, and actually having one system is going to give them the motivation to get more work done using the same system.
Next, we'll talk about our decision matrix. The first one is a subscription-based cloud. And we looked at security, collaboration, response time, and ease of use. The next was an ERP system. And we looked at the same categories and found that it got about the same results. And the third one that we looked at is the custom project management software, which is the one that we chose. And we found that this was better with all of these criteria, and so as a result, this is the one we went with.
Next, finally, our recommendations. So what we're suggesting for you today is a hybrid project management system. So what this will do is manage, collaborate all systems involved in planning, developing projects for your company. So what this does is create synergy amongst employees, relationships between clients and employees, also with city planners and the employees themselves. And finally, data integrity. So we need to know that your data is secure and, in fact, pertinent to certain projects that you guys take on.
So this is how the hybrid project management system is. What my colleague also forgot to say was that it is going to be a cloud-based system, but it is going to be hybrid in the sense that it's local and on the go. So you're able to look at data and work on projects at the office and on the go while you're at home or at work or anywhere else. Emails, text, that's all included in the system. So we're going to have project assignments for different departments working on different projects, and those assignments will be assigned to by senior level employees. And then we'll obviously have to-do lists in the system that will have to be incorporated. Even though easy projects did have to-do lists, we feel that having one system that's centralized will actually help the employees want to complete these to-do lists. And another thing we wanted to incorporate into the system was that chat functionality and email communications. We saw that emails weren't being received and being replied to in time. That's usually because emails, maybe from experience, personal experience, that emails, you don't get a ping notification. And we're going to implement ping notifications to these emails. So as soon as the email is sent, you'll get a notification straight away to your phone. And of course, chat functionality, so you can chat within certain groups. Like if you're grouped into certain projects, you'll be able to chat with the people working on the same project as you. And then project-related texts are linked to the system. So if you're texting someone at the Planning Commission, going back and forth about different plans and changes you wanted to do to a current project, these texts will be related and sent back to the system. So everyone who's working on the project will have access to those texts, and you'll be able to have more synergy and create cohesiveness between each other. And of course, progress reporting of development. So after everything is completed and done, a progress report will have to be implemented so you can know how far along you are in the development of the project.
So next, as part of our implementation plan, we broke it down in a Gantt chart. So what we have is months 1 to 6. This is a 6-month process, starting with architecture and planning, which will take 1 month, followed by data migration, and then development, which will take 2 months, and then finally working alongside with the design process. And then we'll have 1 month of testing, followed by execution and training alongside design.
Architecture and planning. What we want to bring in is a system that works for the specifications of the company that are needed. We want the functions to work with the project, with the people that are working at the projects, the employees, and we want to make this work in a way that's structured for your company.
And then we're going to migrate all the current data that's in various texts, emails, and stored on local computers. And we're going to collect all that data and have all the pertinent data, which is important. We do understand that finding all of this data will be hard, because you can't go through years of emails and years of text. We're going to find that's what's actually pertinent to the Tivoni case, which has been going along for the past couple of months, and we're going to migrate all that data into the new system.
Next, design and development. So what our project management system is actually going to look like. So aesthetically, we want it to have a user interface that is easy for employees to use and force them to use it on any program in which they wish. So next, features. I will have selective features that will be crucial to the jobs that employees are doing. So they won't be faced with features that are not important for their jobs. And finally, current needs, so what they're actually using with each project and how it'll affect and change the way that they work.
The testing phase of the implementation will have communication methods, so we're going to decide how exactly we want to communicate. What we did decide was that we wanted email, text, and chat functionality incorporated into the system. And then we're going to have collaboration tools, and these collaboration tools are going to include working on particular projects together. So like we said, to-do lists, anything that has to do with collaborating within the project. And then we are going to release an alpha test for the system.
Next, training. We want to bring in the employees for hands-on training while it's being designed. This will make it so that the system works with them, they know exactly what they're doing, and that it works and functions properly for the job that they are needing to do. Feedback. Feedback is extremely important because we'll get the feedback back from employees and we'll be able to implement, take things out that they don't need, and make the system work for them. And last of all, familiarity with system. In the past, there have been systems that haven't been all that familiar with the employees, and as a result, they go back to email, chat rooms, and the other older redundant systems that weren't working. We want to make sure that your employees are familiar with our system, and that will make it so that the system sticks and that they won't be going back to older processes.
Following training, finally we'll have the execution of the project. So it'll be implemented within your current system, employees will be using it, and it'll be used with your new large project that you're taking on. And finally, evaluating the progress. So we need to look at Is it actually changing the way employees are working? Is it beneficial to what they've been doing in the past versus currently the project management system is providing?
A few risks and mitigations we came across. So the resistance to change. From past experience, especially with using Easy Project, we do know that the company is a bit resistant to change. And that's why we are trying to recommend a custom developed system that's tailor-made for employees and is custom built for them, so they can actually have features that they do want to use in regards to the company and the collaborative methods, and for the project management needs. And of course, security of information. So we do know that security is a big issue when it comes to such systems, and we are going to make sure that the system is secure, encrypted, and password logins and tracking are all incorporated into the system, and that the system is used locally, and when it's used on the cloud, on the go, that the users have certain logins that are not available to other people that can use them. And of course, accessibility. So we want it to be accessible for everyone in the company to use, not just the people working on the project side of the company. We want everyone to have access to the information. So like the finance department or the marketing department, for example, if they want to see the progress of a current development, what stage of the development it's at, we can obviously have accessibility for everyone on the company at Quest Design to have access to all this information, so it can help clients, it can help with marketing, and it can help further increase openness for the company, within the company.
So we've taken a look at, we've broken it down financially. So to implement our project management system, it is going to cost us a flat rate of $50,000. Following license fees, $10,000, with a total of $60,000. Now, we've looked at the alternative of implementing a ERP system in which would cost us $150,000 for your size of company, resulting in savings of $90,000.
Change management. So we're going to make sure that the system is aligned with current processes. We do understand that your processes may look simple, but they're not that simple. We want to make sure that our system that we are going to implement is aligned with the processes of managing different projects, assigning assignments to various departments, especially with regards to new developments you guys come across. And the most important thing we want to bring to the company is centralization of data. We want employees to have everything accessible to them in one system. And we want them to be able to look at, open up the system and have everything there, which is in regards to the project, that in regards to any project they do work on. And we are going to have automated backups that are weekly or bi-weekly that are tracking up all the progress that they do within the projects.
So some future considerations that we have explored were different developments that can be managed. So taking a look at different ones, looked at the alternatives and what could potentially come out of that in the future. And finally, working in multiple industries. So right now you're just in the real estate industry in particular, but you haven't looked at, or you have the opportunity to look into other markets.
Communication. What does communication mean? It means time. It means time saved, it means less redundancies, and this will save a lot of money for your company. It means 5 days per employee where they're doing work and not looking through this redundant information. Communication. This is what we will bring to you with our system. Thank you.
All right, are we taking the presentation, or are we advising question and answer period?
I'll start. Two small questions. Who's actually developing this?
So we're going to hire a team of developers to come and develop the system for the company.
Separate company, or they're going to be a part of your?
No, they're not a part of the company. We're going to pay them for it. We're going to pay another company to develop this system.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about in your plans how you're going to handle future developments as they occur for that one-off piece of software that you're developing, and also the support side of that for our employees?
I'm not too sure I understand. For the implementation part of the system, or the
Well,
feature
once the
considerations?
software is developed,
Mhm.
there's gonna be questions, so who's gonna answer them?
So we are going to have support staff for the question, for any concerns for the system, and there will be a knowledge base that's developed when the testing goes on. So the testing and development of this system is going to be done with employees. So that's one of the reasons we chose a custom developed system, is because you can actually choose the features you do want, the features you don't need, the features that work for you, the features that don't work for you. So we're not anticipating a lot of need after this system is in place, because already the people that developed it are working with the employees. So developers are working with the employees at the same time through development and design of the system.
Okay, thank you.
So looking at the hybrid solution, and I really like the idea of having a hybrid project management solution. What I'm trying to understand is when I have software that are available, vendor supported, while I'm strapped for time, running multiple projects with only 25 staff, how do you foresee my staff being busy with this developmental work, with providing all the information and input to you while you're progressing with development? Would it be a time-consuming process?
It would be time-consuming, but at the same time, alongside training, we want the employees to actively work on and understand our system. So we want them to work alongside, because the past system you guys have implemented, they weren't familiar, they didn't enjoy using it, they resorted to emails, texting, and none of it was tracked. So with this new system, we believe to help that issue.
Yeah, and just to reiterate what Stephen said there, by using the system, all inputs that are put into the system in regards to any projects are being tracked and are being updated or uploaded onto the system. So I could be at home and one of my associates is at a project working, so he could just open his phone, give us an update on the project, and I'll be able to read it at home or at the office.
If it's a totally customized system, and you have two people beside each other that want something different, like might be doing the same job, if they want the screen to look different or something like that, how would you handle that?
We'll have to take all feedback into consideration. Basically, if any feedback brings up any sorts of change that need to happen or they want to happen, we'll kind of collaborate with all the employees, make sure all of them are happy with the system, and find a way that works for everyone.
My main question is around the cost component. So you've listed the cost of the system at $50,000 estimated. So I'm wondering what kinds of aspects of the development process and life cycle of the thing that you kind of considered in that cost, and how you landed on it?
So we broke it down into looking kind of like what the custom features were needed. So we know that you needed a to-do list, interactive to-do list, a way to communicate back and forth. So we wanted to track the information. So we just added the components and came up with the $50,000.